Why'd you have to be that mean? Why'd you do me that way? We should know that we won't be any better. Can't you see that we are drifting apart? I am through trying to hold us together. I just want it to stop, want it to stop. Smoke spirals off your cigarette. Door slammed to figure silhouettes. Is this over? Is this over? Is this over? Can this be over now? Is this over? Is this over? Is this over? Can this be over now? Baby, I surrender. I can take it anymore. おはようございます。エミちゃん。I don't want to remember. Just
もうすぐ帰るよ。でしょ
Waiting for a new day. When I won't feel no pain.
でもさね、
You will have to let me
日本
go.
は行きたい。
So I can be myself again. We should know that we won't be any better. Can't you see that we are drifting apart?
ライブストリームの後でウェブショップに私の友達が
I just want it to stop, want it to stop. No. Smoke spirals off your cigarette. Door slammed to figure silhouette. Come on, say, is this over? Oh, is this over? Is this over? Can this be over now? Be over now. Is this over? Now. Is this over? Is this over? Can this be over now? Say, is this over? Hey, say, is this over? Is this over? Can this be over now? Is this over?
Everyone's gonna think the stream only speaks Japanese.
Is this over? Can this be over now?
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. This is Let's Get Live. I am Doc Rock. Today we are going to do something cool. I am just trying to make sure that people in the Ecam group can come over and watch. So give me just 1 second. There we go. It's cool. Boom. It's in there. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you here. If you are here, please let me know, especially YouTube folks. Anybody on YouTube, if you're out there, let me know, because I only see Facebook comments coming in at the moment, and comments have been kind of goofy lately. So we just got to make sure that they're working. I am checking. I do see there is one person out there on the tubes at the moment. But anyway, so today we are going to dive in. We're going to kind of like re-go over some of the stuff that's happening with the live interview mode. Talk about some of the updates that are coming up soon. Ken, Glenn, Midori, Caleb, Katie, like the rest of the crew, Bradley, Frank, like everybody has been hammering the last couple of days, just trying to get everything straightened out. There are some updates as far as browser compatibilities and that go. And I know I saw yesterday, Marshall's already started working on getting his overlays together. Coming up for you guys later, I will be giving away a basic overlay pack. I am building it now. So for everybody that's on the newsletter, all the Patreon people, we'll get that out to you so that you can play. All you're going to need to do is go into Keynote. Right now, I was going to just make it Keynote, but I realized if you're like me, I'm overdoing it in Keynote. So I'll probably also create Photoshop and Illustrator files, which you can go in and make some edits. Photoshop can be edited with other free stuff like GIMP and Illustrator can be edited with Inkscape, so you don't have to go and buy anything crazy. Also, you can just take a look at it and see what I did and then go build it in Canva or whatever. If I knew how to build it in Canva, I would do it. Anyway, we're going to get it kicked off. Victor, it's good to see you here. Let me know if you're up to coming back on. I might bring you in just to be able to show layouts and stuff like that, Victor. So if you're down, holla at your boy. Anyway, we're going to get it started. Let's kick the intro. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Get Live. I am that dude, Doc Rock. Today we are here to just help you get everything covered with your content creation. It's about live video, it's about podcasting, it's about YouTube channeling, business, marketing, like the whole 9 yards. And big up, good to see that my man Chris Wood's in the house, so he'll be out here moderating on the YouTube channel, so that's good. At least I know that someone is there. And I see my man Marshy's in the building. You got to thank Marshall and my brother for this dope little shirt here. I'm not going to stand up. Getting too old for that. Before we get started, one of the things I want to talk to you guys about just real briefly. So if you're watching on a replay and this is not your move, well, just scan until you find where we are. But I want to start out talking about, like, what do most successful creators have in common? That's kind of the first question. Like, seriously, what do most successful creators have in common? If you have any idea what you think it is, please pop it away in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, pop it away in the comments. Like, what do you think most successful creators have in common? I'm going to venture out and say that it's mindset, number one. And number two, it's a system. You got to have a good system. Now, I don't mean this kind of system and the A6400 and the A7 over here and fancy lights and all of that. I don't mean that kind of system. I mean a system where you are always sort of working on your craft. You're always honing your skills, where when you go to start a live stream, you go down this sort of checklist, get your things in order. I am still failing at the checklist, but I am building it. I am building it as I go along and realize from talking to you folks what's missing. And yes, Jennifer Design, I'm going to agree with you. Okay, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm not going to say passion is easy, because passion is not easy. But passion alone ain't going to get it. My football coach used to tell me that. He's like, passion alone ain't going to get it. You suck as a wide receiver. However, you'll make a great safety. Do exactly what you do as a receiver, but just crash into people. So he converted my passion into a better skill, because, hurting people was easier than catching the ball. Is what it is. So being fast, I literally was one of the fastest kids in my neighborhood. But the hands, bruh, these hands was made for drawing stuff. It wasn't made for catching footballs. So I just used them to block footballs. And then when I figured out how to catch, just became a good interceptor. So yes, passion definitely is on the list. But even with all the passion in the world, with the bad mindset, it could just throw your game off. For instance, hey Eva, good to see you out here. A couple of weeks ago, actually last week, I take that back, I had the benefit of being on a podcast with my homie Markeith Braden, and we talked about imposter syndrome. And that was a deep conversation, because I think all of us suffer from it, especially as high moving people. We all have imposter syndrome. I probably got it more after I went to school in Japan, because in Japan you're taught to, like, speak humbly of your skills, which is fantastic, but it can also lead to you having a actual permanent thing where you just think you're not quite good enough, or you think that someone's going to figure you out. Someone's going to figure out you actually don't have the skills to pay the bills. And, like, it's famous that even Albert Einstein and Maya Angelou had imposter syndrome. Right? When I read that, I'm mind blown. Like, Maya Angelou, 11 books, like one of the greatest writers of our time, one of the most insightful people, my mom's favorite person. Like, she had imposter syndrome. Part of that had to do with, it is true that marginalized people of color, women, people from LGBT plus, Q plus, sorry, that they have it more than normal. I say we, I'm part of that. Hello. We have it more than normal because, well, the society. But getting past that is key. So first of all, perfection will be the first thing that cripple your craft. You don't have to be perfect. I am changing my stream every single week. All of you guys that are here every week, like Eva, like Victor, like Chris, you'll know I have been slowly working my way up. And that's cool. That's the way to do it. I say that's better. And Eva, you definitely come correct. It's about commitment, right? Once, beginning of August, I ripped the Band-Aid and I said that I'm going to live stream twice a week, every week, no matter what. I did it. And so far, we've been killing it. Like, I literally started the first week of August and have put out 2 shows a week every week since. We just finished 2 months. Like, this is the beginning of the 3rd month. So that commitment is definitely true. And that's good, because then before, when I was doing my live by streams, I would see you guys here and there, right? I would see Eva, I would see Cecilia. How you doing, Cecilia? I would see Victor, I would see Marshall. You guys would just pop in. But that was me doing my random live by, I call them random live by, drive-by lives. That's not a good look, because then people don't know where to find you. Now you guys know. I'm going to be here on Tuesday and Saturday, and if you need me, this is where I'm at. Not Marshall. I was going to say Marshall Fox. What the heck is that dude's name? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just blanked on it. Martin Lawrence, like Martin Lawrence says, I'm gonna be where I'm at. So now you know where I'm at. Okay, so yes, I think right now for everyone, the key is, like, don't get caught in the squat, right? You know what they say, like, you set your biscuits up to rise, you're just not gonna bake them ones that don't rise, right? You don't want to be that biscuit that doesn't rise, because you're always fitna, right? My used to be my favorite word. I try not to use it no more. Don't be fitna, get your live stream on. Just do it. Like Brian DeFonzio says, just put on the damn camera. Just press the button. Just go for it. And once you get it going and you get over the stumble, like, you're good to go. So I just wanted to do a quick little mindset touch before we kick into the deep parts of the show. And I think it's key, because I have been learning from all of the people that I watch and follow, from the Stephanie Liu's, the Tim Sons, Brian DeFazio, all of the cats over at Angora Plus, like Mike Alton and Jennifer, just, watching them and seeing what they do, and, like, learning the craft. And yeah, like, there, you got to be in there. And the last thing that I'll say before we stop beating this dead horse is, a lot of people set their show up, they run, but there's no practice in the middle. So when you run into a crazy hiccup like Victor and I ran into the other day, comments just stopped working. But rather than, like, lose my mind and freak out, I just quickly added the Restream chat widget. All was fine. We was able to get back to it. So, there's your opportunities, folks. And yeah, just get in there. And if you have questions about craft, or you have questions about keeping it going, or you just need somebody to be motivational and put a fire in your hand pots, as my grandma used to say, hit me up. Like, we have a little mastermind group. Myself, Marshall, Alicio, Lemuel, and who's missing? Markeith and Keith, and we literally just yell and scream at each other to keep going. that's the extent of our group, and we're talking a lot of smack about Lemuel's stupid Nikon. Come on, son, get a Sony. Anyway, seriously, thank you guys for being here. So I just want to appreciate it. Let's see what Miss Cecilia said. I started going live Monday through Friday at 8:30. Once COVID hits, and it's been a job. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. And you know what? You're helping your people find you. Okay, sorry, gang. The allergy season is killing me, but I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm going to just sniffle my way through this entire hour plus. Okay, so, what's up, fam? See, He's like Beetlejuice. You mention EW3 and he just pop up. All right, so again, we're going to talk about the live demo situation. Let me export this screens real quick because I don't know why I forgot to do this prior, but let's do it. I've been working on remaking some frames. I'm gonna actually show you guys. Oh, sorry. Okay. I love my friends. My friends are hilarious. Alicio said, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." Okay, so teasing Lemuel about his Nikon. All right, I won't say it no more this week. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Ecamm Live beta. This, if you don't already have it, you're going to want to jump over and download Ecamm. Ecamm is what we use to do the live streaming. There's lots of options. I mean, a metric ton. However, I have a tendency to just be absolutely in love with Ecamm, and part of it had to do with, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. There's a point where every mechanic, every painter, every repair person, every engineer, where your tools start to get in the way of you doing your job. You cannot let your tools get in the way of doing your job. When I was using Wirecast, and when the Wirecast was $900, now I believe it's like $100 a year. When I was using Wirecast and Pro actually, and then when I was using OBS, I was forever tweaking and bothering with the tools, like just fighting things, trying to get things to work. When I loaded Ecamm, the first thing I noticed was a lot of those like nerd settings where people like me sit there and for hours and just move sliders around like we know what we're doing, they didn't exist. So that means you couldn't sit there and tweak out on it. You just had to do it. I like that part. I liked how easy it is, right? I like the fact that it basically works pretty flawlessly. I love the fact that it had Skype guest integration, which it still has, but we don't need that no more. We got better ways to do that, which we'll show you later today. It's just a fantastic piece of software. My boy, my junk, aka Brady, what's up, B? We were just sitting around talking on the phone one day, and I was like, yo, I found this thing. I'm going to download it and play with it. I'm going to try to do my live stream. He was like, yeah, me too. So we just downloaded it on the whim and then started messing with it. And it is absolutely, positively incredible. Shannon, good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I like the fleur de lis. This is straight game. So, yeah, if you haven't already tried it, you know, and you're on the Mac, go ahead and just grab it. DJ Classic Beast asked a very, very common question. Absolutely. The answer to that question is absolutely. Ecamm is much, much better on the CPU than OBS. Now, I'm going to say absolutely, and my experience is from running Ecamm on a 2014 Mac Mini over there, 16 gigs though, and this 2017 iMac fully loaded, and then this now in 2020 iMac fully loaded. And then so on this new processor right here, Ecamm just like barely warms it up. The processor looked like Ecamm and be like, come on, son, what you got? So it really doesn't affect my machine whatsoever. I do know that people running MacBooks and people running MacBook Pro, with say another monitor connected, you'll hear your thermals kick in, but a lot of that's more the graphics card than the CPU itself. On average, I'm going to say that Ecamm comes at anywhere between, say, 35 and 65% CPU one core. Like, it doesn't require an awful lot of CPU. When you get in there and you start doing crazy things like animated backgrounds and all of that stuff, yes, that is going to tax. I know most of the DJs love using green screen. The best way to stop your computer from taxing on green screen is don't green screen, but make sure your green screen has enough light that the computer, you know, when you run the slider, like you got to pull the slider back to adjust your fade so that it kind of like, you know, keys in better. That's the computer working. If you turn on your green screen and you don't touch any of the sliders and they're left at default, that's the computer working less. So when it has to do work in order to key you out, you're killing your processor. So most people killing their processor with green screen can probably solve that by buying some more lights. Green screen needs a metric ton of lights. That's it. That's the key. Okay, so let me poof that out of the way. We're going to get started real quick. Basically, let me show you the interface smoothly so you can see how it goes. I'm going to switch over to live demo mode. Now, I always forget live demo mode and leave it on, so I have to remember to turn it off. I'm going to mute myself while I blow my nose for a second because this is absolutely killing me. Here, I know what I'll do. I'm going to give you guys, I made a new screen. I haven't finished labeling the names of my new screens. So let me do that. Nope, that's not the one. Come on, dude. Where'd you put it? Yeah, there we go. I found it. All right, hold that thought. Sorry, I forgot. I see. This is what I said. What I said when I had it muted was what I need to do. Now that I figured out how to put up that little screen, I need to make a button for it in Stream Deck so that I can remember that when it goes on, put that, play the music, and when I leave out of it, put my mic back on. That was exactly what I said. So anyway, I just literally made that screen. Gamer T 1000. Yeah, that's the point. This is a question and answer show, player. Just go ahead and throw your question up and we will get to you. If you have any link or something that you need to throw, you're not going to be able to do that. Yeah, I've been to prison. What kind of question is that? Chris Wood, do your thing. Yes. Chris, if you want to come in, let me show you how to do that. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to make an overlay. Okay, I will make this overlay real quick, and then you guys will know how to do it. You guys want to see that? Let me see that. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to come out of live demo mode, and then I'm going to switch that to Illustrator, and boom. All right, I'm going to show you how to do this. Show you how to do this, son. Sorry, I just had a Jay-Z moment. I like creating an Illustrator just due to the fact that it's already, I don't have to do the cutout like I could create with cutout in place. You know what? Sometimes, Mr. Doc, you got to move your big head to the other side of the screen. Okay, cool. All right, so basically this is just a 1920 by 1080 graphic. This first piece right here. And then I drew another frame using this rectangle tool right here. I drew another frame and then told it to delete. Or in this situation, another way you can do this without having to go through the hassle, if you notice, I just made a fat stroke, and then in Illustrator, I told it to put the stroke on the inside, and I made this original box 1920 by 1080. So again, yes, you can do all this stuff in Keynote, and yes, it's super fast, but Illustrator is faster. Why? I don't have to do cutouts. I can start with transparent, draw on transparent, and then save. So there's that. So let me get this out of here and put this graphic up real fast, and then I can. So Chris, you have the link now. You just saw me make it, and yeah, it's cool. So like, even though we don't fully have what's the word I'm looking for? preview screen just yet. I do know that the boys are working on that. That is something that we would be able to just like do this on the fly with nobody watching in the background, and then I can just pull that up, at any given moment in time. So let me go ahead and save this. Let me change this. I see your question there, Love God FM. I'll come right to you in just 1 second. Give me a second. All right, so put that there, and then I'll put that on. There we go. So, Chris, that's how you can do it. Love God FM says, please, the other day you were doing live streaming, and you were in you're in an iMac frame talking. Can you please show me how you do that? Thank you, and God bless you for your help. First of all, I appreciate the blessings, because my grandmother, according to her, I needed lots of them. What he's talking about is this right here. Wait, let me fix my little overlay back here. I didn't resize my window, but I will show you how I did it. So once you have your layout kind of figured out, what you want to do is keep it so that you can, bring this up every time without having to do the readjustment. So here's the Ecam community right here in the page, and you got me over here, and then I can point that way because I just remembered to point backwards. And then, so yeah, let me show you how I made that. Now, again, I made this in Illustrator. You can make it in Keynote. You can make it in Canva. You can do whatever. Love God FM. While I set this up real quick, tell me what you use to edit your graphics in. Okay, and then maybe if I have that, which is possible, I have all kind of graphic oriented things, I might be able to do it for you right here so you can see how we do it. It's, really, really helpful. But yeah, the key elements to this is solid background, 1920 by 1080. That's that, layout of the screen, right? Then I go in and I create a cutout for my head. How I measure said cutout is turn this off, and then lay these two up on the screen how I want them, and then take a screenshot of that, either from the practice live or from the Ecamm window. Now, I find that if I screenshot it from the Ecamm window, sometimes the dimensions aren't exactly right. So what you can do is just make a quick recording and then open that still frame out of that recording and use that as a sizing sort of template. Or you could just say go live to a private thing on YouTube for a minute, put your slides up how you would normally run them, and then save stills out of that, and then go back and create your overlay. But anyway, you can completely guesstimate all of this as well, because this piece is absolutely movable, right? And let me see. Then I put my overlay back on so I can make sure it's back where it's supposed to be. Or, you know what I mean? And this piece is movable by adjusting your second screen. So again, Love God FM, if you tell me what you use as a graphics program in the chat, I might be able to help you get there a heck of a lot quicker. Let's see. Chris, if you want to pop on, you can just hit the call in button at any time, fam. I'm just checking to make sure. The other day, my chats kind of ate it midstream. I just want to make sure that they are still working. Because, yeah, me and the boys are trying to suss out what causes the Restream chat. Okay, it's still working. We want to see what causes the Restream chat bot to eat comments. Okay. And no, June, you didn't miss anything. And then, okay, Chris, I'll see you in 2 minutes. So, Love God FM, let me show you the basics of how I set it up. So at first, now you saw how I did this part, right? I'll show you the key elements to getting it together too. Let's pop back over into live demo mode real quick. Okay. So what I want to do here is create a brand new scene. Okay. No, I'm not missing, folks. I tell my brand new scenes to always start with a blank screen. That is a setting in preferences. If I bring preferences up here, when I go to default source, I like to use blank. I find that better than picking a camera. It makes the start of creating scenes so much easier. Okay, so let me move that out the way. So here I am. First thing I do is take this, I right click on it, and then I switch it to tall. Okay, and then I give myself a general placement, like I know where I am. Okay, now let's jump over to the iMac real quick. And no, wrong iMac screen. Hold on, current app. Boom, here we go. So basically I can start this, back this out, and then over here you see I have my MacBook cutout, and then here's the other MacBook cutout. Like, you can switch that to an iMac. You know, to get that graphics, I just downloaded from the internet. It was relatively simple. So to take this cutout right here, basically I drop in this, right, and then put this in the way. What? Yeah, June. That's because one is for YouTube and one is for Facebook. I just put it that way just to tell people I prefer you on YouTube because the comments work better. But people will just be on Facebook. I don't know why. It just is what it is. Brady said Photoshop, Keynote, and Final Cut Pro. All of this can be done in every single one of those apps. So primarily, once you grab this graphic, literally this image, just go and search for, you know, whatever computer you want to be. And I searched for SVG, which is a scalable vector graphic, because I'm doing Illustrator. But if you find it, you can search for it in a regular PNG or a regular JPEG. And I wanted one that actually didn't have the window cut out. Okay, I wanted the window cut out to stay there. I do want to take these pieces and move it though, because I remember the last time I actually left them on the screen. So I'm going to move these out the way. These are just decorations. All they are is pluses and Command-Shift-8 and zeros with the particular font that was evenly balanced. So all of this stuff is completely, you know, movable. You can move this stuff anywhere you want. You know, again, I created these elements from the logo and just put it there. But again, whether you do your actual cutout in any application, you basically just get the graphic for the Mac. I know Canva has one built in. Like if you're a Canva Pro, they actually have these templates already there. This cutout right here is literally just come in here. I'll grab the rectangle tool. I'm going to pick a different color just so you can see that it's easier to do. Not you. Anyway, so I take the rectangle tool, and to round it, I just grab that and pull it in. Keynote, the rounding is in the arrange setting on the side over here. And I see Chris is calling. We'll let Chris in a second. So Keynote is on the arrange setting here. You can just adjust it or go like this. Now, in order to get a sort of 16:9 cutout, there's a couple ways you can cheat. You can steal a picture of an iPhone or an Android phone and use that general window shape, because that's about it. I normally do is I start at, 960 by 540. If I remember correctly, that is a 16:9 size frame, and then you just shrink it back into place, and then so you'll have the general size for your cutout. So anyway, once you do that, you lay it up how you want to lay it up. Now I'm going to purposely leave that blue over here and everything so I can show you how I cut it out after the fact. No, I'm not leaving you hanging. I'm going to go ahead and export this for screen. And I'll show you how I do the last part of the magic. Let me save that. and then go back to over here. No, don't want to replace that. I pressed the wrong one. Hold on. Only one. There we go. Export. Gangster. Got it. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up preview real fast. Almost done, Chris. Relax. Hold your horses. Okay, so in preview, now again, in Illustrator, I could just cut the hole. It don't have to be there. But most cases, if you use something like Canva, which only lets you do transparency on the Pro app, it's difficult. In Keynote, you can just cut the hole. Photoshop, you can cut the hole. But I'm going to show you how you cut the hole in preview, because I find it actually to be one of the easiest ways to cut the hole. You turn on this markup tool, which is this little guy right here. And then the very first one is a magic wand. You put it and you drag the mouse, and when it turns red, you'll notice now the dancing ants are there. So you delete that. Now that's a hole. And I take this blue and highlight that and delete that. Now that's a hole. And then I save this and go back to my regular screen and just drag it in. You see right here, I have the graphic. I'm going to drag it in. Bam. There's the cutout. So now what I'm going to do is delete that and show you how when we started from the blank, where'd that blank screen go? Anyway, we'll just make a new one. So start with the blank. I turn on the pip. I take the pip, I move it to the middle and go to 16 by 9. Make my head a little bit bigger. Take the graphic, drag it in. Move my head there. Now, when I do my share screen, that will be added to the guy as a guide. So that's it. That's how you do it. All right. I'm putting you on, Chris.
That's it.
There you go. Sorry. I'm trying to tell my niece that I'm live streaming because she's 11 and she don't know. So, somebody in the comments type "Hi Emma" real fast so that I can show her that we're live. I love little kids. The way they see the world is so much better than us. Here, this is me and Chris. And see, it says "Hi Emma" on the bottom. Perfect timing, Chris. And then she'll be like, "Oh." I'm going to tell her to watch YouTube. Okay, there you go. So, hey, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Aloha. Good to see you.
Is my audio coming through all right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's just using your buds?
What?
Are you
No,
using-
that's
Oh,
little
yeah.
Rode wireless Go,
The Go. See?
and then just the
People, that's
audio.
it.
Yeah.
The wireless Go is legit. Absolutely legit. Okay. So, you guys saw that because I had my live demo mode open. So basically, what we did is when Chris calls, I just press the button over here. You saw one thing that's really cool and probably one of my favorite features. It rings one time. It goes, brrr, and then it stops. And then Chris is, smack talking in the chat. Hey, why are you leaving me hanging? But your guests can just chill in the green room, and they don't. The ringing isn't constant, because if you were in the middle of a point when the guest calls in, it could really throw you off. And you guys know me. That would throw me all kinds of sideways. So that part of the setup is cool. So basically, as you guys can see, I moved some windows around here since the other day because I'm trying to find the perfect layout. I'm still not sure how I like this because my interview is all the way over there. I might have to rearrange it again. But basically, in this window, this is the key to all of your controls. Right? I'm going to stick this here for a second. So, as you can see now, I added Chris to the right. If I want to switch that up, boom, I can add Chris to the left. Okay? If he was going to say something profound, which he never does, I can just press that. And then there's only Chris. and then you can go
Right.
back. So this part is really cool. And again, Chris's audio right now is perfect because he's using the Rode Wireless Go, one of my favorite mics. But I can adjust Chris's level with this. And Victor, I know you found another mic that was in stock that was pretty cool. So yeah, I'll grab that link and I'll bring it up because I thought that was pretty nice. It was cheap too. It was in stock. It was like $9. So I think I just want to order one just to try it. He found a over your head, and then the little thing that
Okay.
comes out so you look like Christina Aguilera. Yeah. Tim says, "Hi, how do you update the Ecamm software?" Okay, Tim, are you talking about the beta version or the regular version? Because if you haven't downloaded the beta yet, just pop into the group, the beta group. Yes, you can join, Victor. Go ahead, anytime. You pop into the beta group, and the very first post should be the latest beta update. So you download that, and you just open the zip and put it in the applications folder. You can run both apps concurrently. Not at the same time, but they can both live on the computer together. So when you open the beta app, it's fine. All your screen scenes, everything stays. When you open the regular app, everything stays. So they use the same preferences, but you don't have to do anything else. Now, once you have the beta installed, the boys are updating like quickly. There's been 2 updates since yesterday. You click here, Tim, and you go down to check for updates. And then it checks and it says, Doc, you're on 3.6.0 B12. And then we put this here to cover Chris's face. And okay, so in case you guys missed it, or in case you just showed up, my buddy Victor Cahill is calling in, and you can see it says right there, Victor is joining. Okay, so all I have to do is press this button, and then first, Victor's chillaxing in the green room, and then I pick where I want Victor to go, to the left or to the right. So I'm gonna put him to the right because if he was to the left, all his stuff would be in a box to the left. You must say no about me. You must say no about me. Sorry, I just watched Tim's show, and on Tim's show, everybody was dancing, so I thought I had to get one in. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, okay, so it's the beginning of a joke. A British guy, a black Puerto Rican guy, and a Cuban walk into a bar.
What do you like?
Victor's chillaxing on the couch, no saxophone. Hey, Victor. We can't hear you. Why? Why is your audio... This guy always has perfect audio, and I can't hear him. Are you calling from the phone? Oh, yeah, that's obvious. Hello. But, yeah, we can't hear you. I don't know why. I have you not muted here, so something about your phone is not picking up the audio. Oh, yes, Tim. Always for you. I always have to do at least one for Tim. There you go. The bartender looks up and said, oh, I'm not going to say, I can't say that. B, the answer to that question is, I don't know. Just do docrock.live/join. Come on, Brady. Bring it. And Victor, I need you to fix the audio because I don't know what you did. And I really got to stop being upside down. He said bye.
I had that problem with the first time I connected on my phone because I had to allow, I think it was since the latest iOS update, there was like a setting to turn your mic on for Chrome, and I couldn't find it.
Yes. Okay. Well, actually, in the latest update of the beta, let me pull the thing up. Actually, I can just read it from Slack. It's faster. There will be a thing that pops up that says, actually, I did it yesterday, so I wonder if it'll let me pull this image down. No, it's a web location. There's a thing that says there was a problem starting your camera and microphone. Ensure that you give your web browser permission to use the camera and the microphone. So that comes up in Chrome. Okay, and that's normal. It's just something about what's going on with Chrome and the way they have everything set. So for right now, we're telling everyone, if you're on iOS, we want you to use Safari. If you're on Android, we want you to use Chrome. Excuse me. And on the Mac and PC, you can use to whichever you wish, as long as it's one of the latest versions. So that's, kind of sort of primarily the setup there. And this throws me off. So let me switch Chris back to the right, because I don't know why that throws me off. I'm not even right-handed, but I am right-handed. Wait, never mind. I can't speak English today. Tim said he had to do that. You had to go to. Oh yes. So let me see the settings in your phone, and I can pull my phone up once I find the settings. I believe under privacy, as the way they say it in Chris's land. Under privacy, you go to camera, and the apps that you use that require special privacy settings, you would go in and you would make sure that the camera app and the other one have that. Okay. There's Chris's phone. I got it. I just
It's okay.
okay. Oh, I
Phone's
can't mute
muted.
your phone.
Yeah, my phone's muted.
Even the volume coming out?
No. Let me fix that. Yes, done. Fix.
There you go. Because what happened is it's coming out of here and feeding into your regular one.
Of course. So yeah, that's fixed that. But yeah, I'd never. I didn't use Safari last time, so that clearly works.
Yeah. So basically, you just go in your settings under privacy, in your settings app. Then you open up the privacy app, and then once you open up the privacy app, if you haven't already done so, you can then tell it allow Safari or Chrome to use the mic and camera, and that's just going to be under the privacy settings in your phone. Ooh, what is that? Canon. I'm joking. We had this conversation this morning about Nikon's, Canons, and Sony's in our little chat. It was funny. Hey, Alex, good to see you here. Alex said he was helping Scott out with the RCP. Thank you. I told Scott all he has to do is actually try reading that thing that's called the manual, and he would be good. But he didn't want to read the manual, so what can I say? RTFM. And then Tim said, I had to give Chrome permission for the camera. Learned that after it was on with Stephanie. Yeah, that's a very common thing. Even when you say open up when you open up your first Filmic Pro or Cameo or any camera app for the first time, it asks you that question. You want to give it access to the camera and the mic. We just normally don't do it in Chrome because that would mean that you had to go to a site that was requested it, and most people never get that. The first time it should allow you to do that. Yes, there is a update, Chris, that's going to fix that. Waiting for hosts. We have been asking everyone that if you get that, Chris, make sure you tell support, because they can look at your log and see what happened at the time. We've been trying to suss that out and figure out what exactly is causing that, and it's just a random weird combination of things. So for the most part, if you update your beta app to the latest, it should be okay. And then if it doesn't catch, then go here. If you can see my screen, go up under help and then go to Ecamm Live Support, and it's going to ask you to submit your log. Okay. When you do that, in this first menu tab down here, it says send diagnostic log to Ecamm. And what the boys will be able to do is they're able to look at the timestamps and know exactly when your client, interviewee, guest, host, whatever, when they'll know when that person loaded that page. The page that you get to that says go to the show, set your mic up, and the thing that you see in Chrome or Safari, they actually can know exactly what time that person's page loaded because it resides on their servers. So from that, they can see if there's any errors that person's computer is telling the page. And then they can figure out, okay, we're going to have to give you a list of things to tell your guests. Like I was talking to someone today and they were speaking about echo. The best way to ensure echo is to get your person to have these on, because you just saw right now, completely unintentional, Chris came in by himself perfectly fine. When he loads his phone, to which he's listening to this, you're hearing this with the time delay and the lag, and it causes that just like when we do a screen cap of this and the window goes back and forth, because it's picking up broadcasting, receiving in a cyclical loop. That's why you see that window echo, that Alice in Wonderland effect with the camera. It also happens with the audio. So as radio guys, we used to pick up the phone. Hey, I-94, you're calling number 94, you're ready to win. And all you hear is loud noise because they're trying to hear themselves winning on the radio. And you got to tell them to turn it down. And like, we'll send you a cassette. But that's how old I am. You just got to tell people to turn it down. So that's what happened. Now, a lot of guests, naturally they want to hear the stream, but that's, as a guest, and they haven't done this, it's disconcerting because there's a lag, right? What we say now, 10 seconds from now, the people will hear that, okay? So if Chris is listening to YouTube, at the same time he's listening to me live, and he's used to it because he's a streamer, but it will throw you off. Dun, 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 dun. It's Victor.
Hey.
Now he works. You see?
Yeah, I was coming in from the iPhone with the AirPod Pros and it wasn't working.
So we thought about something that could be the case. Check the privacy settings on your phone and make sure that Safari or Chrome microphone permissions are there, because you can have camera permissions, but you may not have had microphone permissions. And again, so yes, your guest can call in from a phone, your guest can call in from a PC, your guest can call in from a tablet, your guest can call in from basically anything that has a microphone and a camera. But I would suggest to everyone, build your little checklist and tell your guests, make sure that your privacy settings are correct, and then do screenshots to show them. Tell them to make sure that their headphones, if possible, because echo cancellation does work, but why make it work when you don't have to? If your machine is doing the echo cancellation, that's going to tax your CPU. So yeah, you don't want them to do that either. So I'm gonna just do a quick check. With both guys running live demo mode and restreaming, Ecam is using about 90% CPU. That is incredible. And it's not CPU like lagging the machine down. Well, because I have a metric crap ton of cores because it's the new joint. But yeah, if you're on a dual core machine, you might have a problem. I think I have 10 cores, technically 20 cores. So I got space. Okay.
Yeah, my mic was on ask, and it only asked for the camera. So I've put it on allow now. We can test it again if you want, see if that was the issue.
Yeah.
But that, we don't have to do that right now.
The only thing to know about the phone is make sure that your phone is muted when you do it, because when Chris called in with his phone, it went crazy. So you got to make sure it is muted. But yeah.
Yeah, the other big item here, and I already reported it, is that I can't use I'm using a Blackmagic 3G mini recorder for my card, my video card. And it recognizes it. It's on the list, but when I pick it, I just see a blank screen. So
which card is that?
It's the Blackmagic. It's called the Ultra Studio 3G recorder. It's Thunderbolt 3, a capture card, and it's a really nice piece. But
the boys actually have one. They unboxed it a little while ago, so make sure you tag them and let them know, because they have one, and so they can tweak with that a little bit. So now let me. So again, so you guys can see here, if you're pre-gaming your show and you're trying to build it, you can see here I have Victor. I'm going to go ahead and assign him to guest 2, and then I can assign Chris to guest 1, and then now the cameras are guest 1 and 2. So what's really cool about this setup, I can have a situation where they're just doing it. So let's suppose in this particular scenario, I am the I love these ding dongs. I don't need no followers. Let me 86 them. It's like, oh, you need more followers. I don't want any followers, player. I'm trying to help folks. So if I'm in a situation like Tim, where he's remote producing, I have the screen set up right now where all you see is Victor. Wait, it switched to my iMac. Let me fix that. Victor and Chris are there, so they're doing their thing, and I'm in the background being the disembodied voice, and I can mute myself, and they can still talk. So you guys talk amongst yourself for 1 second.
So, Victor,
Nice to
welcome
meet
to
you.
the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We're just going to take over Doc's. Oh, no, we're not.
I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm joking. So, but as you
That's
can
really
see-
great. Actually, that's a great feature.
Yeah, so you're able to. Wait, I gotta put myself back in the left because I don't know why I'm weird like that. Don't ask me. I'll figure it out. But it's very cool. So it's for my buddy Tim, who loves to do remote producing for his clients. That's Tim right here. He would be able to bring the 2 guests on and move himself out of the way. So I know that my buddy Mike Alton also does that. He's running the show. He's picking comments. He's bringing Chris Gloss, bring up the comment or whatever. But you don't see Tim and his upside down camera on the thing. Tim is removed from the shot. So he's not really there, but he's there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I got a question for you. I was doing a test call earlier today, and I'm pretty new to this stuff. If you create one of those frames like you were doing earlier, how do you move people into it and crop them in and all that? Because I couldn't figure it out.
All right. So again, let me adjust this because my brother always brings this up. And I have to get rid of this interface, but I've been busy doing other stuff. So one thing that's cool, first, June, over here on this corner, I'll bring this window back. Chris discovered the upside down button.
I've just found it. I've literally just found it.
Tim was
I've
doing
never
a
seen it
stream the
before.
other day, and he put himself upside
Wow.
down just to see if it would make people just click on it, and tons of people clicked on it. It's pretty funny. Your hair doesn't lift when you're upside down. It's just the camera, Chris.
No.
My hair
Yeah.
doesn't lift when I go upside down either.
Yeah, but at least you can take the hat off as you do it, and it's good effect.
Yeah, Alex, absolutely. Let me do this real quick. Dun, 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 dun. I try to make this super easy, but I have to put it in a place where I remember where I put it. So just drop that and do. That's how you do it, Alex. So June, for anyone who's paying attention, if everyone is different, right, and somebody is too hot or whatever, you can go like this. Unfortunately, you can't start with it down. So what I would probably do as a pro tip, and this is why again I always concede that my brother is smarter than I would start everybody here, pre-show, right, if possible, and then go in and have them set. So if they're too quiet, you got room to come up, and you don't have to stop and tell them to come up. You know what I mean? You start them already low and make them turn it up ahead of time if you can, and then you have control. If you start with it at full, you have zero control. So that's what I would do as a pro tip, and luckily everyone who's watching this will kind of understand that. Yeah, when you're doing your sound check with your guests, bring it down to about 80-90% and give yourself some room to play at that aspect. Now, a common question that comes up before we do Victor's layup real quick, a common question that comes up is the ability to like how much hours are getting ticked away. With all 3 people, it's still 1 hour. And Alex is going to call in, and that'll be 4 people. It's still 1 hour. So you don't lose anything when you do that. Now, if I was pre-show and I knew that Alex was going to come in, I could actually go into my camera source and add a 3rd guest, which that's that, okay? And then put myself to the left, and then Chris to the right, and then Victor to the right, and then I have that, guest 3 is going to be there. So that way, when Alex calls in, I can actually assign him. It's right there. It's on screen. It's just docrock.live/join. I use Rebrandly, so I don't have to remember the link. So Alex, just type in docrock/live, docrock.live/join.
Rebranding is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It saves so much hassle. And
Yeah, I just got it yesterday. It's awesome.
And again, with moving some of these things around, you can just use these little combinations of buttons. It's going to take me a while to figure out which combination of switching these around does what. But right now we can do kind of little Brady Bunch action. And there's Alex. And I'm going to assign Alex to guest 3. And then bam.
Guest 3. Thank you. Well, hey, guys.
Hey. Okay, so now I gotta take this off because we can't see Chris's face. Chris, go like this. You look like Kilroy. Kilroy was here. All right, you guys started that, right? That started in the UK.
Kilroy.
I don't know. Kilroy.
You're young if you say that, and I feel old.
Do you mean Killjoy?
Oh yeah, Killjoy. Kilroy was. Kilroy was Pink Floyd, but Killjoy is the right one. Yeah.
Killjoy, yeah.
You know what I meant. Everybody knew what I meant. You guys know I say weird stuff. Don't listen to me. But yeah, so this is very cool. And again, in order to do the Hollywood Shuffle thing, it does, have a lot to do with switching these around and sort of moving these back and forth. And one of these days I'll figure out what the magic is for that. But I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out yet. There we go. So yeah, you can do stuff like that. And good job, Victor. I appreciate it. This is the cheap mic that Victor was talking about. Oh, gang. When you do a 4-way split, put the comment right on the crack between the middle.
Right, are you telling me my comment is on crack?
Absolutely. So that microphone is called a Polson. I like how Victor named it the cheap mic. Polson, I believe, is B&H's in-house brand. They just buy some stuff and get it white labeled, and then they call it Polson. Because I remember the last time I was there looking at a set of Sennheiser headphones, and they had the identical version that said Polson. And then I noticed in the store there's a bunch of stuff that says that. So I think that's just their in-house brand.
I just bought 2 of these guys after hearing it on my office hours group that I do with Alex Lindsay in the mornings. I heard the mic, I'm like, for $10. I mean, so I bought one that's a regular 3.5 millimeter in, which needs phantom power, 3-volt phantom power. So I use it with a VXLR Plus adapter. And then I bought another one which is Sennheiser, so you can use it with the wireless packs.
And the Sennheiser is just the mini.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, mini XLR is what some people call it, but it's actually a Sennheiser link. So
so I should get those Monday, and next time I talk to you, I'll put that on and let you hear it. The other one that I mentioned to you on our chat is this one that's out of stock right now on Amazon. And this is
Pile.
Which one is this one?
Dual headphones.
Pile.
Dual ear. Which cracked me up when you said Pile. I was like, what? Because we used to call it Pile up. Never mind. You know what I mean.
But I think this one's $20, and it sounds fine.
It's amazing. Really so I mentioned this in the Thursday show. Sorry, that I remember back in the day with Leo when Laporte used to come on. If he knew he had a guest and he thought when they did the test, right, they would call you ahead of time and do the pre-test. If your audio was horrible, they would literally send you a mic at $10. If it's a good guest, I'm gonna send them a mic because I don't want someone to come in and try to use something hokey and then make my audio sound bad. I would just send them a $10 mic if it works.
Well, that's what Alex Lindsay does for his shows that are a lower production value. He sends out kits, with the camera, like a C920 and one of those mics, and he just sends out a whole kit to some, an
Like
earpiece.
Netflix, return label, everything.
Boom. There you go. I mean, he just builds that into the cost of the production, so he charges the client basically pays for it. Now his upper end productions, he's talking sound devices and DPA 3066s like this one. He sends out those kits too and charges the clients for it.
That's pretty cool. So, now for Alex McDonald, when I come on his show, I want him to send me a SM7B.
Hey, talking about Sennheiser, talking about microphones, right now the Sennheiser 421 mic is on special for $199 everywhere. That's $190 off its regular price.
That's
It's
incredible.
the 421.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll recognize the mic as soon as you see it. It's often used in toms, but it can be used for vocals. It's very good for saxophone. That's why I picked one up immediately.
I think when I was on radio, they gave me that because I was killing the PE. No, the RE20s. Like it just didn't sound right. So I remember they switched me to a Sennheiser. Which one? What number was it?
It's the
421.
MD 421 2. I'll get you a link.
Dun, 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 dun.
He's already got his
No,
rebranding
guitar-
all over it.
Yeah, because
Guitar Center
rebranding
had
is
them.
legit.
Guitar Center had them this morning in stock. A lot of places don't have them in stock because of the price. But
$199.
Guitar Center,
That's crazy. Oh, yep, that's the one. That's exactly the mic. Yep,
That should be it there.
that's the guy.
but if you get that mic, one thing you got to do, because the clip is probably the worst design ever, is you got to take the clip and just put a little tie wrap right at the base of it so it doesn't come off the mic and break. So that's just a little pro hint on that mic that's
Yeah,
absolutely necessary.
yeah, that mic has been around forever.
Oh yeah.
You always see it in drums. A lot of times they use it in the kick drum. So I always knew it as the kick drum mic. I never remembered the number, but yeah, in
Toms.
my radio station, they put that as my mic because I would just blast those older electric voice ones we had. I think it was called the EV20. I think that's the right name, RE20.
RE20, yep.
So as you can
RE20,
see,
yeah.
like a standard 4-up interview is just flawless. Now, what's really cool about this, Victor is upper middle country, right? South Dakota. Chris is in the UK.
South Dakota.
I'm in Hawaii, and Alex is in space. Where are you, Alex?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, hot Atlanta. Oh my God, I just started having food flashbacks. I was stationed at Fort Stewart, so I used to drive to hot Atlanta all the time. Atlanta has some of the best food in the East, people. Like most people don't know that. Atlanta food is incredible.
Yeah, there's some great restaurants here.
Oh my goodness. Now I wish I could just go and get me.
Unfortunately, there's some great restaurants disappearing here too, as well,
Yeah.
because of COVID.
A
But
lot of stuff is closing. And the thing that I remember the most was, and I don't remember the name because it's been years ago. I left Fort Stewart in the early 90s, but they had this one restaurant that I used to go to all the time that had the best hush puppies. That sounds crazy, but that is so good. 'cause it's hot.
Well,
If you
see,
don't know
now,
how to make
I'm-
it, it's nasty. If you know how to make it,
I'm actually from Chris's neck of the woods. I was born and raised in England. I left there when I was 19. So I'm not a big hush puppy kind of guy.
No grits for you either?
blasphemy.
No, sir, no grits.
Oh man,
No,
I
I'm
die
not
for grits,
greedy.
and you can't get any grits in South Dakota. I mean, it's just like nah, it's not gonna happen here.
The
In
only
Spain,
good
that's
grit
actually
I ever ate was made by Bobby Flay, and I was hurting me to eat it because number one, Bobby Flay just has a face that you just want to slap, even though he's actually a nice person. But it's something. Some people just have that persona that you just, oh, this guy is weird. Turned out he's actually nice, but I had chili jalapeno grit. And I was like, bro, I hate grits. There's no way I'm going to like this. And then I tasted it. I was like, all right, I'm going to let you slide. But you did what my grandma couldn't do was get me to eat grits. They're nasty.
in
all the-
Spain. Actually, my wife and I are looking into Spain as a potential place to move if certain things happen certain ways. So
I go to Spain in a heartbeat. Spain got good food too.
Yeah.
All right, so Victor
all my
wanna
fams
know-
over there.
He want to know how to do the 4-up. So again, this is my 2 tips on setting up the 4-up. And Alex actually has a killer video on doing the layout, and being able to move the heads around. One thing that you can do, if I were to go and hit this pip mode, see how all of you guys ended up in the pip, and then
Yep.
I can do that as a tall, and then go like this, and so
That's
that's
cool.
one way to set it up. But when you
Okay.
set it up like that, the secret to that, this everyone's gonna go blank for a minute. Don't freak out. I like to start with a blank screen, right? And then you add your pips.
Not
This
great for YouTube, but
Wait, okay, and then you go here and click tall, and then you go like that, okay. So now, if we were doing like a class type situation, or something where I wanted to use all of that real estate to display what we were speaking on, that's how I would start that, okay? And then I would come over here and grab my slide. And I hope I got one that's big enough for all of us. I can use this one. I'll use this one and just rearrange it a little bit. So I can grab my slide. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before I do that, let me put you guys back in live demo mode, and should remember to just press the button on the stream deck. Hello. So I'm going to bring this picture back in. I'm going to put it there, but that's not the cutout one, dummy. Sorry, guys. Let me check which one I already cut out. See, when I was moving stuff around, trying to teach people stuff, I messed my own self up. What did he do with that? Okay, that one's not cut, not cut, not cut. Come on. I made it in the other screen. What the heck did I do with that? It's so funny when you missed it. Oh, here we go. I got it. All right, so I'll drop that in, and then what I can do is go to my what's the word I'm looking for? Go to my preferences, and then do picture above overlay. This checkbox has a lot to do with getting your stuff together. But now I can take this and move it to the side. So it's kind of right there. And then if I were to do my screen share, I could put the image in the background. And then
Yep.
so
That's very similar to the way I do my 3-up, which I can demo for you if you want to see it, so that people can see how to set up a
yeah, absolutely.
good looking 3-person interview.
Because I know when you did it with a little bit more of a stack. And the only thing that's happening, the reason why it's freaking out people is you got to remember to turn this box off. And then you can adjust your window to fit inside kind of sort of properly. So there will be a situation. Now, this would be really good if we were yelling about sports, or something of that nature. Like if we were going to get on about how bad Manchester's going to kick Tottenham's ass in the morning. I could just run this setup like that, and then this is cool. Elaine asked a question, and then I'm going to give it to you in a second. Alex, let me pop out of this just so you guys can see what it looks like in full screen. And by the way, it does blink, and the boys told me how to fix that. They said, go into screen sharing and show everything when, there's a setting, and they'll stop the blinking in theory. Elaine said, is it possible to do a mirror image of the guest in the pip to clean up the orientation? So yes, let me show you that real quick, Elaine. I can do a full Tim Son panel. So in this window, I'm going to move my window for a second. This is my camera, okay? So what I do to my camera is that. Now, Victor is backwards, so I could just do Victor. Now Victor looks like he's staring at me wantingly, which is a little creepy. Alex is perfect.
That ain't gonna happen.
And then I could go to Chris, and Chris needs a slightly bigger head, so I can give Chris a slightly bigger head. So if I was really like tweaky about that kind of stuff, I normally don't bother it, Elaine. But if you want to, I have kind of sized us up somewhat proportionately. Um, except for I purposely like to make myself look smaller because in real life I'm fluffy. So there you go. Now that kind of gives us the sort of general proportions. The problem is if you are like myself and you're like, all over the place, then yeah, it doesn't work. If you're, the hand talker, then that kind of throws it off. But yes, Elaine, you have full control over each individual person. And I actually really appreciate you for asking that question because I forgot to mention that the last go round. And so if you guys will see that for some reason I disappeared my camera effects, just come back over here and press the magic wand. And that brings everything back into position. And you'll see.
Go
ahead.
You could always just ask your guests to look to the left to make it look like they're looking at the presentation.
Yeah. See, I always look the wrong way, but yeah, you got to everybody to look left, and you'd be like, "Oh, wow, ooh,
good presentation, bro."
MD 421-2, great price, Victor, great price. So that's super funny, but yes, Alex, that is a very key point. So again, we talked about this a second. And I think it's going to be very crucial. And maybe I'll just put up a Google Doc and open it up to the public. We make a little list of things to tell guests so that it makes your job easier. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure. I know it's past lunchtime in Atlanta, Alex. So what's in the cup?
Oh, hot chocolate. It's a bit of cocoa. It's cold here right now, so I'm drinking a cup of cocoa.
Cold. What's that? I forgot. Okay, I want to go back to full screen and then actually let me just make a new screen. This is better. And then I'm going to put Alex. Go ahead and show us how to do that full up.
All right, we'll do. So
I'm going to pop out of demo mode. 1 second. There you go.
No worries. So this is one of the scenes I have already set up. And you can see there's me. There's a placeholder below me. And over here is, that's actually a screen share, believe it or not. It's a camera coming in over NDI from Chrome on another machine. But that source can be virtually anything. So let me jump into live demo mode, show you what I mean by that, and then show you how to set it up. So right now, that is a screen share. If I change it to one of my guests and then add in my camera and another shot, you effectively end up with this, right? But I'll create a brand new scene, show you all how to do it. So let me create a brand new blank scene. The key is the way you want to order the cameras, or your guests. Whoever you want to be the primary spot, you want to add them first. So I would say add guest one as my first source. And because I'm in live demo mode, I guess it's not showing placeholders. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably. Anyway, yeah, it's adding that. Let's. I don't know if this is going to work then without being able to see the placeholders. To be honest with you.
Did you turn the pip on yet?
The
picture in picture?
You shouldn't have to for this. All right, let me go to camera. Oh, there we go. Let me add this guest first. Then I'll turn on picture in picture and I'll add me second and say guest 2 third. I'm going to do the same thing you did. I'm going to change it to tall and I'm going to resize it. The only thing I'm really going to do differently is in the camera controls for guest 1, I'm going to turn on zoom and pan. I'm going to zoom that out a little bit, place it where I would like it to go. Then I would bring in my overlay and fine tune things. But that is how you can do a 3-up that would end up looking something like this, if that makes sense to everybody.
Nice.
That's wicked. I forgot about the camera move. because I do that for other stuff, but I completely forgot that you can use the camera move as a way of doing that. That's genius.
Yeah, this is what my standard 3-up usually looks like, and I'm gonna unzoom guest one. That's for Danielle, who I usually have to position in her camera. But yeah, it just so happens if I turn off my overlay, this here is just an NDI source coming in across the network. That's all that is. It's on a second machine. I can zoom and pan that really and place it wherever I want. And then whatever I do on this second machine shows up in that as a camera source across the network. But again, that can be a guest, right? You can switch that to be whatever you want. It can be a guest camera, it can be an NDI source. And just like you showed, you can actually do it with a screen share and add your guests in PIP that way also. Just whatever you want to screen share, you just shrink it down to fit in the space you have available to you.
That was cool. That and Chris's wife scurrying behind him really quickly.
It's my son.
Oh, okay. I just see the blurry body just run and was
Yeah,
like, dude, that is super cool. I really, really like how that works. And it does allow you a little bit more control when you have the ability to do so. Wait, I gotta remember to camera and then which the key elements to your stuff, people, is remember to assign your guest to where they are. So when I'm looking at my cameras, guest 1 actually says Chris, guest 2 says Victor, and guest 3 says Alex. So I know who's who. And then also, if I were to turn on these guys, then where did Alex go? There you go. If I turn on these guys, they all work. The other thing to remember, if you decide to drag these over to the opposing side, you have to like just keep dragging. It's going to feel like it's not moving when your mouse moves a little bit. Move your mouse at least 300-400 pixels for it to actually start to move, and then it will move, and then they'll be fine. I personally would just make overlays for all of the guests, but I do like the way these are because you can just get in there and just, change them really quick. Now, if I was trying to remain on brand and I were to go into adjust my colors, I don't have it handy, but let me try that. And I press save, then it would automatically do that. The other thing I discovered recently, which I didn't realize you can do, and it's probably only going to affect Victor and myself, you can use two different...
Doc, I think I froze, so I may have to come back in.
Okay. You can use two different fonts in the same one. I don't know if that worked. Maybe it didn't work. I thought you could anyway. Let me bring that back.
Oh, so first and last name could be different fonts.
Yeah, I thought you could do it that way, but let me see. Did it
That'd be
catch?
pretty cool.
It doesn't catch. I think it catches on the overlay, but it doesn't catch in this particular format. And then yes, and the other thing to remember is like if you drop a guess, all you need to do is go to that. So it's really, 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 really simple to do this. If you need more real estate, you can do the long, way so you can have ticker graphics at the top and bottom. Maybe good for panels. And the other one to remember, and I always forget, the shortcut key is it's Command Shift S. So if you do Command Shift S, you can rearrange cameras all day. And as a matter of fact, if I was doing a longer show using this particular layout, I would just every couple of seconds not a couple of seconds,
just jump
every
around,
couple of minutes or so, just swap it around just so that the other person's eye goes, okay. You know what I mean?
Isn't it Command Option S though?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. Command Option S.
Option S. Thanks, Alex. Thanks. Yes, Command Option S is the key. So I think that helps you, sort of add a little, little swag to your show, but also it shocks the viewer. This is the reason why YouTubers always do the jump in and the jump out. It's just to keep your face from going, You know,
Right.
it just attracts your attention really, really quickly. So, yeah,
Or set up an Apple script to run it every 5 minutes.
yeah. So I did. I remember I wrote an Apple script for the beginning to just change the first 3 scenes so that while you're waiting, it wouldn't just be boring, and it would be the same thing. You would just change the scene numbers in
That's a good idea.
in I was going to say in Cam Link, because I was looking
I
at
had a
my
question,
screen. Yes, Chris.
Doc. So just whilst Alex was doing his demo, I was thinking that if you've got, I know at the minute we're limited to kind of 4 additional guests, right? So you can have 5 people at one time.
Hmm.
So, but if you had if one of your guests was on Ecam, and then they add in their callers on theirs, does that mean in theory, if all 4 of us are on Ecam, we could have 20 on one screen?
In theory, yes. And I don't know if I should throw them under the bus, but I saw someone doing this the other day on their live, and it was quite chaotic, but it did work. And I was like, uh-oh, don't tell the boys. But they did
I mean,
it.
here now with a combination of Skype and the interview mode, you can have 10 guests. You just got to use
Yeah.
loopback to route the audio around. I use a Rodecaster Pro, and if anyone wants to do that, hit me up. I have loopback configurations that work with the Rodecaster Pro and Ecamm and allow Skype guests and interview guests to talk with each other without any loopbacks.
Here,
Cool.
I'm gonna make a
Nice.
a screenshot for a second.
It
for
will
the-
grind your machine to a halt, though, so I don't recommend it.
But I suppose if you're using Skype on another machine, does that work to kind of take a bit of the load off, or?
It absolutely would take some of the load off. All you have to be concerned about then is getting any audio back and
Audio,
forth
yeah.
between the 2 machines.
Of course, yeah.
Doc, I was able to come back in using the Ecamm virtual cam. Now you're looking at my Ecamm now, looking at my good cameras. So,
Yeah.
but it is definitely a bug in Chrome where it doesn't, it sees that Blackmagic stuff, but it doesn't work. So, yeah.
So
I
one
reported
thing
it.
that I heard in I don't know if it was Chrome or Safari, but I know one of the guests on one of the shows said that they tried to Chris Gloss says that he needs that loop back setup, Alex. If I find the post, Chris, in the Ecamm beta group, I will tag you because Alex did put it in the Ecamm beta group. So yeah. Oh, I forgot. I gotta move this back up there.
Yeah, it's relatively simple. You need 2 virtual devices. One, you have to turn on multi-channel output and mix minus first of all on the Rodecaster Pro. Then you set up one multi-channel device that you feed into Ecamm Live and add any other audio sources you want to it. And then a separate one that goes into Skype, but also includes Ecamm Live in that input so that everybody gets to talk to everyone else. There's no loop back. There's no echoes. It's been working well for us so far.
Amazing.
But I've had probably close to 2 months testing this and trying to get it all working.
So for those of you guys who downloaded the beta the other day, they did post a beta update. So make sure you go underneath if it doesn't automatically pop up, make sure you go underneath the menu item that says Ecamm Live Beta, scroll down to check for update and run the update. That update is going to help you with guests that are waiting for host, and it's going to help you with things like I was mentioning before. Sometimes in Chrome, if the person tries to switch cameras, it would either delete them or blank them out. So I don't think it's just only Chrome. I think it was a couple other browsers that did that as well. But you do have to remember Firefox, Edge, Brave, they're all Chrome browsers, so to speak.
So, Doc, the 3-person one I was talking about, I don't know if you see that there? It was a template. The template that one of our members made. So thanks to them for that. I can't remember who it is. So in
That was a
that
great video, that.
situation, I would just use the Zoom and so on, like you did, Alex, in order just to get the people framed in there the way that I want. Is that really all I would have to do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That utilizes the standard Ecamm 3-up layout, which, if people are sat at their cameras the way we are, we're all pretty much centered well, then they should fall into place with those without having to do any zooming at all, really.
So what I figured I'm
Okay,
going to do
cool.
is only have guests that I know are Ecamm users, because the streamers
Makes it easy, right?
streamers already know how to be. But when you call in the guest and the guest is my brother-in-law, the shot would look like this.
Yeah, over here.
And then I'll be like, yo, sit your butt up, put the headphones on, because headphones would be off. The big stupid Dallas Cowboys mug would be in his hand. And I'll be like, look, man, listen. Well, actually, and then my brother-in-law Corey is 6'6", so I have to zoom out because all we would see is this. That dude is freaking huge. I remember Dad was like, hey, go check out your sister's boyfriend and see if you have to knock him out or anything. Okay.
I can't believe you're lucky enough to get the great Victor Cahill on your show.
I know, right? It's funny, right?
How do you know me, Alex?
Same way
Victor,
I do.
I was listening to your podcasts back before Apple even acknowledged podcasts were a thing.
Thank you. That's exactly what I said.
Oh man,
the other
that
day.
is so nice. That is so nice of you to say. Yeah,
When
that
we
was.
were using.
I started.
What was it
I
called?
was using
Alex?
Podcast Lemon. I was downloading
Podcast Lemon, that's
Podcast
right.
with
Yes.
Podcast Lemon back then.
There was two
And
choices:
Victor-
Podcast Lemon or Podler. Remember?
Yeah,
Podler?
I think Victor was doing his. I think Adam Christensen had started the
Metcast.
Metcast
Yeah,
back that
yeah.
early
He's
as
the
well.
original OG. He was September 2004. I was April 21st, 2005. Is when I first did my typical PC user at the time. I had not
That's right.
switched yet. And by the end of the year, I switched and I never looked back. It was like, oh my God. And so nice of you to remember that. I had fun.
I subscribed and I listened to probably every episode.
Okay, I got to screenshot this for the crew because somebody asked the question, and I know Alex already said it could be done. I knew it could be done, but I just wanted to do that. So it does work. It's super funny, but yeah.
If we all did that with our guests, there would be could be 25 viewers there.
And what? And that, friends, is how you break the internets.
Absolutely.
That is super, super funny. But yes, it is very possible to do what this person thinks we're trying to do. I'm just trying to respond to this real quick. So I really think that this interview feature is a game changer for the people that have been out there trying to wonder, I guess the common question, if I'm already using Restream or StreamYard, why would I want to do this the Ecamm way? And my only answer will be, honestly, something about the browser-based solutions just don't do what the computer one can do, and part of that has to do with browser limitations. Your design situation is missing a little bit. Your overlays is missing a little bit. You don't really get to do the PIP style overlay that Alex just demonstrated and Victor demonstrated. And speaking of packs, overlay packs, I am going to put up my overlay packs for the people that are on Patreon or the mailing list. You will get my blanks, and then you can go tweak yourself to whatever. You know what I was trying to say. You can tweak yourself crazy. So Chris, you're going to get it. I know you already know how to do it, but I'm going to send it to you anyway. So that in case you can tell me oh, you should move this over here. But it'll basically be you go in and recolor them to match, what you use for your colorway. And it is absolutely possible to mix the two together, but you must know if you're going to mix this, and Alex has pointed this out carefully, I have an iMac 2020 fully loaded with 64 gigs of RAM. I can probably run all of this and Skype. I have a 300 by 50 connection. 400 by 50 connection. I can probably run this and Skype. But if you own that 2014 Mac Mini over there, do not even contemplate the idea. It's just
Yeah, no.
that Mac Mini would be like, Lord help me. Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, I literally watch hundreds of people in their struggles. It always comes down to you are trying to do ESPN with the 8-year-old machine and you can't do it. If it's just, you and the guests, maybe. But you and 4 guests and Skype, no. Saint, my favorite Catholic saint, Saint Happening.
Saint happening.
I'm gonna get in trouble for that. I'm glad that Bishop Oliver's not here today because he would yell at me for saying this. Hey Jim, what's up? Semper Fi, Jim. Good to see you here, buddy. So yes, first Tim comes and then Jim comes. That's the Tim and Jim show. I'm gonna be on their show later this month. I don't know why they invited me. They have no idea the muck that I'm about to bring to their show. But yes, gang, this is cool. Like, this has been absolutely fun. And again, we are working our way through all of this stuff. We're trying to find all of the tricks. If you don't know, like, a good go-to person when it comes to audio setup and routing and stuff like that would be, dang it, I did it wrong. Because this is why I put myself where Alex is all the time, so I know to point that way. See, I moved myself, and now I'm like, duh. So Alex is the man when it comes to audio stuff, as you can tell by his lovely short SM7B, which I was very envious of till I got my pod mic, which I absolutely love.
I love it. Listen, I love the pod mic. Don't be envious of this. The pod mic is a fantastic little device. For $99, you can't beat it.
The hard part is you can't find one. That's the part that's killing everyone.
That's the worst thing. Yeah.
I will have to end up eventually getting a Rodecaster Pro because everyone that has it so far has figured out some cool things. And mostly I wanted to do call-in show. I wanted people to be able to, call in and just ask their questions as well as, come in. Now we have interview mode. So that kind of pushes it further back down the chain. And I was really basically ready to pull the trigger, and Sony introduced a new camera. And I'm like, Rodecaster Pro, new Sony A7C. Sony A7C. That's just me. Okay. And then,
well, I take live. I do take live calls for every show.
Yeah, no, I saw you had the number there on the bottom.
Yeah. And before I had the Rodecaster here, because now the phone just hooks up via Bluetooth to this thing, I was using Google Hangouts inside of Chrome. And speaking of audio wizardry, I had to figure out a way to get Chrome to be able to talk to Skype so that any guests in Skype could hear and speak to any phone call, any callers on the phone, and get all of that into Ecam and not have any issues. That took some doing, but we figured it out. Dude, now it's just simple. You get a Rodecaster Pro, hook up your phone via Bluetooth, you're done.
Dude, that is so cool. It's funny. My brother said, if I find my pod mic missing, don't ask him. I know you know the combination to the office, so I know exactly where to find you. Alex, what's hilarious to me is because I watch a metric crap ton of footy, like legit footy, not the brown one, and I watch a metric crap ton of regular football as well. Jim, I will give you the answer to that question in a second. It's funny to me because I was stationed in Georgia, so I can hear the British accent mixed with the Georgia accent, and it's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I've lost an awful lot of it, and
no, you did.
It's weird.
It's in there. It's in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like you know how reason why I love the pod mic so much. The mid highs are blessed. Right. And so just like it's hidden in the mid highs where that good audio comes from, hidden in that southern draw is the UK part. It sneaks out. Yeah, it's hilarious. And, I love it.
I'm from the West Country. I'm from Bristol. So you should sound like that. But no, my accent's pretty much gone. Yeah. All right, my lover. That's what I should be saying.
God, that is blessed.
Very Bristol.
Jim, if you've joined the beta group, Alex is a prominent person in both groups actually, and he just won the Golden Chalice for the month. because of that wonderful loopback tutorial that he did. Katie and the guys at Ecam blessed him with the User of the Month challenge.
Yeah, they
Chris,
did. Thank
Chris
you.
has 3 broken mugs and 1 that didn't break now. So
Only 2 broken ones. 2 broken ones.
I'm teasing you, dude. I'm just teasing you. So they make, if you want to know why Ecam sells metal swag mugs now, it's because of Chris.
That's funny.
Absolutely because of Chris. That dude down there in the corner, Hollywood Squares. I like to buy Chris for an X. I forgot.
Yeah, I remember now. I think I saw those posts where they both showed up broken from
I saw them. I saw them
or
too.
whoever the hell it was.
So now
Yeah.
you can get a lovely enamel mug in the Ecam community group. Thanks. I'm gonna call it the Woody mug. So, and then Victor, you can find Victor always playing his sax on Sundays and the Super Sax Jams, and it's super rad, right? Victor, I would like to some point in time set up to do like a deep dive on the Apollo and the UAD and why that's actually good for live streaming, because like in our situation, our software doesn't allow us to put VST things in the middle, and then so the UAD can, right?
It can, but I don't actually in this setup here. The UAD is being used on my music production setup over here to the rack of me. Here I'm using a mix pre, and I am doing the plugin in Hijack. Yeah. Or the sax jam too.
Hijack is the way to do it, but everyone always complains they don't want to buy another thing, and I'm like, but if you want to do it, that's the way to do it. To get your compression and your noise gate and all of that stuff, and you don't want another piece of hardware, because I will always suggest, even though I hate the connections on it, I would suggest a DBX286, because you got hardware compressor, hardware expander, hardware noise gate. It's just there.
Yeah,
also,
it's a good piece of hardware.
Behringer Ultra Gain 2000, again, same basic thing. Little tubes, I think, are mostly for decoration. But you know, again, it's
let me ask Alex something that we're here, because I noticed this today. I was doing some testing of these new features, and I played some music out to the other 3 guys that were there. I wanted to play my horn and my background music, and they said that the quality of the music was not good. So is Ecamm, do they have a hi-fi mode like Zoom does now, where you're actually getting it? Because
yeah, they have. They're talking about adding a music switch, because right now there's a gain limiter in the system itself, and
that's what they were hearing.
Someone starts getting loud and musical, the limiter kicks in. So they're
because for my jams I don't use. For my jams, I stopped using Ecamm Live because of that. Unfortunately, I just go through the ATEM directly to Facebook, and I get high quality. So I'm good. I'm glad the guys are looking at it, though, because I would love to, be able to use Ecamm Live more for my musical stuff. And now on Zoom, if you guys haven't tried the high fidelity mode on Zoom, it is killer. Absolutely killer. You can really super high fidelity. Yeah.
Have you tried Clean Feed? And it's Zoom's high fidelity is as good as Clean Feed?
I have not tried it, but Zoom's it's 48 and it sounds awesome. I mean, you do have to go to the settings, advanced, and click stereo, and click high fidelity. But I have played through there, and it is crystal clear. And we all know it used to be the worst.
Absolutely.
But now it used to be terrible. But now. As a matter of fact, if Facebook kicks me out this month because of the I play covers, if they kick me out, I'm probably going to go to a Zoom solution and have people come in and be a virtual audience in Zoom and just listen that way. So
that's cool.
Yeah, well, Glenn is looking at adding a music mode switch to the. Right now, it's optimized for voice, and it like I said, it has a limiter. So hopefully they'll be able to take care of that for musicians, because I know musicians are really going to use this system.
Yeah,
oh gosh, yes. I'll have to hit him up with a ticket just to reinforce that, just a little bit more. I'll hit Glenn up with a ticket on that. But anyways, the Sax Jam is tomorrow.
People are there.
Tomorrow at 5 Central is the Sax Jam. If somebody wants to hear, it's a cool 40 minutes, just enough time to have a couple of beers, and I'll play you out some nice tunes.
My brother said, did anybody try the Zoom ZD1 yet? I just looked it up, June, And yeah, it's not too bad. They want $119 for it, for a microphone and a set of headsets. I don't need the headset. I wish they had the mic by itself, but at $100 they're probably giving you the headset for basically free. But Zoom makes incredible mics for what they are. I've always thought the recorder that we got like three of, the Zoom H4n, the one I have is 15 years old. It still works. It's flawless. I looked at getting the Zoom 8, the one that has the 32-bit float. So that looks absolutely incredible. Oh, it is on Amazon. Okay, good, Alex. I was trying to find it on Amazon. I couldn't find it. I only saw B&H, but yeah, that's it. That's the guy. So I don't know. It's Amazon, so it's worth the swing. Like, and
Doc, I'm gonna push you to sound devices though before you pull the trigger on that Zoom. Sound devices is killer for 32-bit.
we have a mixed pre upstairs. But every time every time I try to slide it off the table, my dad throws something at me. And he's like, hey. So every time I go to his house, I'm always like leaning close to it, and then my hand's over there. And he's like, I know what you're doing, huh? Mom. So yeah, he won't let me steal it. I tried stealing it several times, and he's like, no, I need it. So June, when you go to Dad's house today, you steal the mix pre and bring it to my office, because I get in trouble less than you.
Swap it for the mic.
And the new mix pre's too. There's a new plugin now. It is super expensive, but it is a noise plugin. It's $300. Okay, but the thing is flawless. This room that I'm in right now.
My brother is teasing you, Victor. My brother says the guy who uses DPA mics.
Hey, what do you want? You know, I'm a little geek. I like good stuff.
Bruh, I always wanted a countryman until you busted that thing out. Then you got me twisted over here. Wait, I'm trying to make sure I find that ZDM1 real quick. Since Alex found it, it wasn't coming up for me, Alex. Well, maybe my dyslexic fingers messed it up. But yeah, I think for $100, I think it's a decent kit. I found it. I think it's a decent kit, and it's probably worth a shot. I mean, you never can tell. And the cool thing about the Amazon or Best Buy, you can always give it back. June, if you decide you want to get one, I can buy it for you from Best Buy, because I'm an elite, and we got 45 days to hate it instead of 30.
So Doc, I'm going to turn off this noise.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn off this noise assist so you can hear my mic. Okay, it's on right now.
Oh, that mic is clean. I hate
you. You hear it now?
Oh.
All kinds of hiss.
Yeah.
All kinds of noise.
Yeah.
Now, I'm taking it with the noise assist at 7 dB. No artifacts. No nothing.
That's cool. It just basically nullifies that background hiss that mics will get when they're reaching for sound when you're not talking.
They're using some kind of voodoo that's worth $300. I mean, it really ups the price of the mix pre. But I got to say, I would not buy a mix pre now without buying the plugin. The good news is though that if you ever sell it, the plugin is tied to that machine, so you can ask more money for it.
Oh, there you go. What cloud lifter are you using, if any, Alex? Or the Rodecaster doesn't need it, right?
They say it doesn't need it. I use a what the hell is it called? A FET head. I've got a FET head hooked up to mine, which I think gives me 26 dB of clean gain. Yeah. So I'm able to keep the gain on the RCP down low, and it just keeps that room tone way down.
Nice. And Chris, what mic are you using now?
Me, I've just still got the Rode Wireless Go at the minute.
But didn't you say you were getting a regular mic?
I am, but to be fair, at the minute we're kind of doing loads of stuff in the house, and one of the rooms that was going to be, what was a playroom, is going to be my little studio, if you like. So I'm going to do it when I do that.
Oh, sick!
I'm going to get it all then.
I know the Rode Pod mics are available in the UK, so
they are, yeah.
I looked, and I can get it for $100, and with the conversion, it comes out to $123. From our price to your quids, and I think it would probably be like $40 to ship it back. But what is it?
Sorry, I was going to say it's on Amazon right now, £100, £99.
Oh, really? Oh,
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not available on our
Yeah.
Amazon. I was just looking.
no, I have an Amazon
Yeah,
UK
no,
store
UK
too.
is available. Yeah.
So
That's that for 99. That's the mic I would recommend to everybody.
before they
for the
sell out,
99
Chris, you
bucks.
should just buy one and stick it in the corner, or
Yeah.
somebody donate Chris a mic because he's such a
I
good guy.
don't need it. It's fine.
No, I'm just teasing you. I was trying to get you in there. So it does the calculation for me, and Amazon.co.uk, it says L11149. So yes, 112 quid, and my shipping back, it won't be too bad because the last I looked, it wasn't too bad. Actually, that's that price plus free shipping. Oh,
That's not bad.
yeah. Hey, June, just go and buy it from the UK store. I
does that
bought my
include
Camlink from the
VAT?
UK store. Huh?
Amazon prices over there, Chris. Does the listed price
Yeah.
include VAT? It does.
Includes VAT. Yeah.
Huh.
There you go.
Actually, actually
Instead
getting
of
cheaper than
buying
us then.
another Christmas woolly jumper for Father Christmas, instead of buying a woolly jumper, buy yourself a pod mic. You guys wait for the Doc Rock Ugly Christmas Sweater show because we don't wear sweaters in Hawaii because it's hot, but I'm going to come up with something.
Here's the thing, though. If we're recommending pod mics to people, what are we recommending for an interface? Because not everybody's going to want to drop $600 on a Rodecaster Pro. So what do you think? Like a Scarlett 2i2?
Scarlett 2i2 is my go-to favorite. I bought this Audient Evo 4 because I wanted to test out Audient. They have good preamps, and it's really nice. My only complaint to this audio Evo 4, and it might just be mine, it might not be everyone, when I change scenes, something that Ecam does triggers this guy to lower the mic back down, and I have not found a way to beat that yet. And it's been through several upgrades, including the firmware on the Audient and that. But other than that, I mean, it's clean, and it will run on an iPad. It has built-in loopback. It's $130. It's like the cheapest, really good interface that I found. I absolutely love it, and nothing to me is better than Scarlett though. I just absolutely love them. I love their build quality. And then Motu just came up with a new guy. It's called
The 2x2. That's what I was going to recommend.
96 hertz. It's under the U-Box line. It's the lower end line.
Yeah, the M2 2x2 USB-C is $169, and that's my go-to for people who are just starting these days. If you can't get into a little bit higher, but Motus are wonderful pieces, and most of them you can actually control from a web browser now. All their interface is in a web browser, so it's pretty easy to control and to set up things. So yeah.
What I was thinking of wasn't Motu. Sorry, it was PreSonus. PreSonus USB 96 is basically a play off of the original PreSonus box. It's $99. I don't like plastic quality, but hey, if you're getting started and you want to get in where you fit in, it's hard to scream at $96 for 2 XLR ins and 2 XLR outs. And the only reason why it is so cheap right now is because this is their 25th anniversary special. So they're just trying to show some brand love because they've been in the game for so long. They literally were one of the original Pro Tool interface boxes. But again, PreSonus, Motu, Scarlett, can't go wrong with that. It used to be I hated Behringer, but Behringer got new money, new friends or something, and they kind of stepped their game up a lot recently. So their stuff isn't as crappy as before.
It's funny. I just grabbed this because I used this for people, again, for people who are just starting out. I used this for
Is that the
years.
Zoom one or the Behringer one?
That's a Behringer Xenix
The 302, right? Yeah.
Yeah, XLR input. It's got great preamps. I mean, this drove the SM7B, believe it or not. This was able to run it. I had to crank the gain up naturally, but you can buy these right now for, I think, $80 or so on Amazon. It allowed me to feed in my mic to two additional sources. One was a phone, one was a second machine, second computer that I would feed audio through, and it does USB. And there's something, I don't know if it's Skype or if it was this device here, but there was no need to set up a mix minus for Skype. It just worked out of the box. The guests didn't get any loop back or anything like that.
Oh, incredible. Absolutely
Yeah,
incredible.
it worked really well.
That I remember when they were like $80. It was the 204 level one. I think I have one in the back room somewhere. Wait, did my brother just say this? Oh yeah, he bought one too. Yeah, it was a 204.
I just put in a link to Brizona's newest piece. It's called the IO24. It is a really good looking interface and controller all at once. I put a link to it there, and it looks pretty nice. I'd love to get my hands on one to test it.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of new devices out there that will keep your interface, not too crazy. I think the Behringer ones are incredible because they're not too bad at all. I actually, Victor, I thought about buying that because right here on the desk, believe it or not, this is actually one of my favorite pieces of kit. If I can unplug it, come here, girl.
What's nice about that is you can also use it as a controller for your DAW.
That's what I use it for.
Yeah, I still have one of those. Yeah, I still have one of those, man, in the closet. Yep.
So this is great. So when I'm editing podcasts or editing, anything, basically being able to control with that, and these buttons are hot. It basically is MIDI guy. So there's ways to reconfigure this to do stuff like you theoretically could use this as a stream deck because of just the way that it works. But I definitely I was looking directly at that IO station. I think the last time June was in the office, we were talking about that.
Well, of course, if you don't need to have the sound card with it, you can buy that piece for a lot cheaper. I think $159 if you just want the controller.
Charles says, gratitude, gentlemen, for contributing and establishing the office hours community with Alec Lindsay this spring and summer. Has been an inspiration and dominoed into discovering me. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Because, I know Victor's always on. I'm always creepily listening when I accidentally wake myself up at 4:30, which has happened.
Yep.
Something that when you start to get of a certain vintage, you start waking up earlier. What the hell happening to me? So when I'm up and I can't go back to sleep, then I watch Alex and you guys talking story. But it's too early for me to get up and come downstairs and be in the studio.
Yeah. For me, it's 8 o'clock. For the people on the Pacific Coast, it's 6. But what's nice about it, you guys, is anybody's welcome. You're welcome to participate as a listener. But if you want to get on the show, come on in. You can get into the Zoom call and join. Now I got to be honest. It's a tough panel. We call it. You got to have your mic game on. You got to have your camera game on. But if you listen to it and say, "Hey, man, I could contribute something to that show," and basically the audience produces the show by asking questions. That's how it works. So anybody's welcome. And, Alex, you'd be a great contributor to it, I am sure. It is 6 a.m. Pacific time. We do an hour where we kind of just really is a coffee hour type of thing. And then at 7 a.m. Pacific, the show starts where we start answering questions of everyone. And then at the 8 o'clock hour Pacific, it's a second hour. Then we go into a specific subject. It could be microphones. It could be production cameras, whatever it happens to be. It's a great community and a very respectful, totally clean show. I highly recommend it, not because I appear, but because I'm a member of the community.
Very cool. This is very, very awesome. All right.
Sounds great.
Cool. As you can see, today was super dope. We were able to do a 4-way. We was able to do 5 when we added Skype. Alex gave us some pretty kick-ass content about how to do the 3-person layup. And what completely forgot about was I have my NDI on both these machines. It's weird though, when I run the NDI from here, because it's sitting so close, you can see it and you can see it. So it's a little weird. But the ability to bring in stuff through NDI is probably the one thing that most e-cameras aren't using to their advantage just yet, and that's something that
Right.
maybe Alex will have to come in on a Tuesday, because on Tuesdays, if you can, we pick. That's when I like to teach a specific topic and just run through it. It would be good for us to handle NDI, because I think that is something that goes slipped a lot of times. A lot of times, got to send a big shout out to my homeboy Philip. Philip has an amazing cooking channel. And just, kid from around the way got stuck with his wedding video game shot out the window, because there's no weddings in Hawaii at the moment. And he said, well, you know what? I'm going to teach y'all how to cook my mama's food. And it's incredible. He's blowing up. He might never have to shoot a wedding again. So good to see you, Philip. But yeah, Tuesdays, guys, don't forget, we'll be back here again. This Tuesday, I kind of have it scheduled to do a Ecamm deep dive. I think there's a bunch of stuff in Ecamm that people aren't paying attention to, aren't using. When I teach myself software, I go through every menu and every button and figure out what it's for. And then I start playing. And I think a lot of people, it works. I get it. This is the beauty of Ecamm. You set it up, it comes out of the box, it works, and you just run. And then you don't know how to do anything. You start missing stuff. Like blank camera source is one of the bomb features. And a lot of people don't know that. Like if you're trying to set overlays and stuff, you must start with a blank camera source. It's so much easier. You're not fighting, right? Alex showed you that in the demo.
Yeah. And people can set that up in
That's my
their
default.
Preferences.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, in
talked
your
about that right
preferences,
before you
set
came
blank
in.
is the default, and
Blank is default.
I think it's great. And you don't accidentally switch to a camera that you didn't necessarily want people to see that way.
Correct.
Just in case you have a camera around that you don't necessarily want people to see. You never know.
K-Walk Comedy, good to see you here, man. She said Ecamm made my cam link useless. We'll fight about that. I think you should go HDMI whenever possible over USB for stability reasons, but that's always a fight that we get into in our community. And I understand a lot of people, if you have a lower powered USB hub, your cam link gets hot. It can disconnect, but the way you solve that seriously is a powered hub. If you get a powered hub and you're not, I always bring this out because I love this. This is my favorite travel device, but there's no place to plug in the outlet to it, right? So it doesn't have power. So when you stick in a cam link, which draws a lot of juice, this can cause the cam link to get hot, the computer to get hot, and then HDMI cause the camera to get hot, and you got issues. So Canon has a wonderful webcam utility, but you run into some other weird things with autofocusing and all that other stuff. None of that happens when you use your cam link. So cam link is still better. You just have to make sure you have enough power to run it. And so a powered hub fixes that. Or better yet, I tell everyone, if you're going to do this, just get a dock. I know docks are expensive. CalDigit docks $200, but it does some stuff that is just better for you. It mitigates some of that heat. It gives you way more power for your devices. It has control of the flow, right? Alex and I were talking about this earlier this week. It's the way that the Mac sees the CalDigit as a USB channel, if you will, versus all the Mac channels, right?
Exactly. I actually use the OWC docks.
Mine is OWC.
I've been using them for a long time. Mine's a Thunderbolt 2 dock that I'm using the adapter cable to go from Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3, but it still works perfectly.
Absolutely.
That's what my camera's going into via a little capture device, HDMI, and it works great.
Now, K-Walk, here's something that's really cool about this. The advantage of using a dock, like not me, this thing with the K. If I plug an external monitor to this, it takes less fight for the computer's like heat management, because some of that's been pulled out by this device. This device has display converters built in. So when I run an extra HDMI signal, which allows me to look at you guys at the camera, it's a small little Sony HDMI. I can pull it directly out of the OWC dock, and it doesn't make my computer fight extra because the dock is actually handling some of that. You see what I mean? So you can much better mitigate power getting something like a dock. A USB-C oriented dock is around 150. A Thunderbolt oriented dock like that's the Cal Digit. That guy is wonderful. Absolutely. I want to switch my OWC to that just because it's a little faster. And yeah, that guy's $199 right now, which is a deal because my
Honestly,
OWC
that's a steal
was
for a
like,
Thunderbolt dock.
yeah, my OWC
That's
was
a good
$350.
buy.
But I have the
Talking about
OWC
NDI.
Thunderbolt Pro. So yeah, the doc would sort of do that. And yes, if you're going to do something K-Walk Comedy, I'm going to hand stamp Cal Digit. What a lot of folks don't know, before the consumer product, the Cal Digit stuff, all of us pro broadcast people, we all bought Cal Digit, everything.
See you, Victor.
I got to go. Bye, you
Bye,
guys.
Victor.
All right, Victor,
Pleasure.
I'll hear you
Pleasure
tomorrow.
meeting you,
Pleasure.
gentlemen.
If you need a
Okay.
backup
pleasure
singer,
was
I will
mine.
come
Thank
in.
you,
And
Victor.
if you play Lou Rawls,
Come-
I'll be there.
Come in. No. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play some Malo. How about
Right.
that?
I can't do that. I'll sing
Saw this.
Tito Puente for you.
See you
All
later,
right,
guys.
all right, brother. See,
Bye.
dude, this is so easy. Like, I love how this works. And then, bam, just with a little thing, you just press a button. Like, man,
That's
this
right.
is
And with that 3-up overlay that Victor showed, that would have, because of the way we're already framed on camera up front, we would have just fallen straight into those cutouts.
what happens to these though? Is that covered or will it come online?
With the lower the names, you mean?
Yeah,
Those would be on top of your overlay.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now you messing with me. I'm gonna check this real quick. Nobody laugh at me.
Yeah,
'cause
when
it's not-
you
it's
when
not
you bring
gonna
up, if
work.
you brought up a lower third right now, the names, there you go. See?
Sorry, that was loud.
Hey, look, it's like this was custom made for me.
Oh, really? Did it
Right
did it
there
look
in the
great?
little box.
Wait, let me do that again. That was funny. Hey,
I'll just
yeah.
back up a little bit, be good to go.
yeah, I could just move Chris and I around, and that
That's right.
yes, that is so sweet. So okay, I'm gonna go redo my overlay real quick.
There you go.
K-Walk, yes, this entire feed today was about the guest feature. I gotta move that around. Boom. Yeah. So yes, we are using the guest feature, and let me show you real quick just before we bounce out of here, so you can see this is our setup right now. I'm using this guy, so I have put myself back where I like to be because I like to be on the left. That's just me, and then I have Chris and Alex in the thing, and so now what we have is they call it age progression.
Right. Well, no, I think I'm probably older than you.
No, I just make this shit look good. I gotta edit that part out so I don't lose my ad thing. No, I'm elderly. I got a dog and a stick. Walk around the
Dude,
neighborhood.
I was elderly when you were doing the TUAW.
Oh, there you go. I missed that
So-
group. That was the funnest group to work with. We had a blast. Our back channel and our stuff. Oh my God, it was a really blast group. And Steve Sandy and Mike Rose are both in the Ecam community now. So we're gonna do a 2R TV reunion gig soon. Alex,
Are you really?
I'll have you come in. It'll be a
I would love
blast.
that. Yeah,
It
I would
is
love
such
that.
a
That would be
blast.
fantastic.
I miss
But yeah, I'm
Macworld
about
so
to-
much.
I'll turn 51 next month.
Past you.
So, you
Yeah.
passed me?
Yep.
No, come on.
2 weeks ago.
Well, you do hold it well. You do
54.
wear it well.
Yes, and so K-Walk, to put the comments right here, you can undo that, but you can rearrange it like this. If you grab the handle, I can make them so that they stick to one side, and then I can zoomify it to people that are like Alex and my age. So
That's right. That's right.
Chris is currently laughing at us because Chris is a baby.
He'll know. He'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, so you can easily, just sort of rearrange your comments. I like the fact that they have a little button, not a button, but there it is, a little like thing where when it catches the middle, it kind of stays there. So yeah, this is really, really cool setup. Gang, this has been so much fun. Alex, I really appreciate you coming in today. and being able to show
Thank you
off
for
your
letting me.
wares.
I appreciate it.
Chris is always in all of the streams. He's always around, and he's such an awesome cat. Like literally today, we had some of the best guys in the Ecam community on the show. We do have to get a female on the panel though. That was a lot of testosterone, and my mom and my sisters won't appreciate it. I was the only male at the bottom of the food chain, so I'm used to getting the whippings. What's really cool again, I like to show this one more time. You can easily add a Skype guest to this if you had to. So that absolutely works. And Alex, again, thank you for helping Scott out with the Rodecaster Pro because that affects my DJ's live streaming show. So he's always wanting to press some buttons that he's not supposed to press. And I just don't.
Yeah,
I didn't have it in my hand, so I didn't know how to like route it. But I knew it had to be routing. Like it's just in my head.
Yeah, I'm really glad I jumped on with him because he thought he had it fixed, but he actually wasn't using the SM7B. He was using the mic built into his Mac. So we got him. I think we got him in the right direction. He's tweaking it now, just getting it set up the way he wants it. He'll be sounding good as gold.
What's up? Keep it techie. Good to see you here. Man, I messed up my whole thing messing with K-Walk over here. I got to pull this edge out. One thing about Ecamm, I don't know if you guys know this, but at the end, before you close your program or quit your screens, the comments stay there for a little bit, like no one's there. So you can use that before you restart to readjust your layouts and fix your comments or whatever like that. So once I quit the stream, the comment window stays alive. I use that as an opportunity to redesign things. If something comes up like during the show and I'm not feeling it, like this is not technically correct, I can go in and do all this after the fact. But just something that I thought I would remind you guys. And like Alex said, now that I know that the bubbles pop up, if you're testing your interview feature and you don't want to bother someone, take your iPhone, call yourself, put the iPhone in a different room and point it at, I don't know, books or a lens. Or as you can see, I have Vader and Stormtroopers, Derek Carr. I have a bunch of options. Baymax is right here. I have a bunch of people that I can point. R2's back there. Yep, R2. So yeah, you set it up something like that to get your practice on. Anyway, so Tuesday, we're going to dive deeper into Ecamm. We're going to talk about some settings that people might be missing. I'll cover some of the stuff that I think that people might be missing that can help you out. Like Alex showed today, one I completely forgot about. Bring your screen share in as in the eye because then it's seen as a camera and then you can control it better. Like I knew that, but I forgot about it. So
and you get all that overhead off of your streaming computer and onto a second machine.
And that becomes a thing, like because I get cocky about my screaming fast iMac over here, but still, if you can keep it cool, and make it last longer. You know what I mean?
See, I use a 2020 Mac Mini, and
that's right.
Because I keep a lot of the overhead onto other machines. A 2014 Mac Mini, for example, everything runs smoothly. It's all about just managing those resources. For me, for you, not so much, Doc. With 96 cores, you're all right.
What did you say, Chris?
I was just going to say I use the NDI streaming app or the app on my iPad and then do the same thing. So for screen shares and stuff like that, I just bring the iPad screen in as an NDI, because if you do screen share, the thing I've noticed is you can't and especially if you just plug in the iPad in directly using the USB, it only allows you to do it a certain edge of the screen. Whereas if you've got an NDI, you can use the whole 100% of the screen if you want to. By just like Alex demoed, kind of zooming it out and then moving it around is really good.
There is going to be a feature coming soon. Actually, I think they talked about it, so I'll talk about it. I don't care. If I get in trouble, you guys will see me get X from moderator. The boys are going to make it so that the cameras are floatable.
Right.
There will be camera overlays instead of cameras.
Yeah.
In which case the camera's floatable. And then our design game is going to be insanity. It's going to be so insanity because that's one thing that I've been begging for a hot minute. But don't forget, guys, Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be here again to do this. If you haven't already, please jump over to the Patreon. Got to send a shout out to 80. She's on the Patreon right now, and I'm making a custom tutorial for her about editing with Proxy, because that will save you so much time when you're trying to repurpose your videos. Don't forget all of the gear we talked about. I got to go add new interfaces and mics, but all of the gear we talked about is on the kit page. So if there's a piece of gear you're looking for, check the kit page. If it's not there, send me a message. I'll help you out. I would definitely add the Behringer and then Victor's little mics on the list, and I will probably order one of those little mics so we can get that tested out. But yeah, that kind of like wraps it up. Yeah, I'll see you guys Tuesday. I appreciate you guys for being here, man.
Cool.
Thank
Aloha,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys so much. You guys know I do weird stuff at the
Nice
end.
to
I'm gonna
meet
play
you,
my
Alex.
screen and music,
You
and
too,
then
Chris.
rock the outro. So, aloha, gang. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.